And now let's bring in the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Republican Congressman from Tennessee, Mark Green. Congressman, it's always great to have you on. There has been a lot of criticism pointed toward the president for really not addressing, giving us kind of a plan for what's going to happen when Title 42 expires this week. But the White House says, no, he already did address it. Watch this.
So the American people did hear directly from the president on this issue. I don't have anything else to share in the next couple of days about the president's schedule, so I'll just leave it there. But he was asked a question, and he answered it.
She was asked a question by MSNBC in a softball interview, and that was the end of it. It doesn't appear there is a plan, sir. What are your thoughts?
Well, Trace, thanks for having me on. You know, their best idea here is to send 1,500 more military personnel to the border, and all they're going to do is process more people into the country. The problem here is that they've created incentives. They've done away with policies, and basically it's all catch and release. And all of their solutions just double down on that. So if they process more people, they're just going to create more incentive for people to come, get paroled, and sent into the country. So it's not a plan, and if it is one, it's a very bad idea.
Yeah, and our sources keep telling us that it's all over social media. These people know that Title 42 ends, and they are gathering, and they are making their way to the border. The Wall Street Journal, Jason Riley says today in an op-ed, Mr. Biden is effectively, as you said, talking about the military, sending an army of pencil pushers. The better course of action for the president, his party, and the country would be to back a bipartisan legislative extension of Title 42 authority and urge fellow Democrats to do the same. Would you agree, disagree?
I think that would certainly be a start, but the problem is that this president hasn't really been executing Title 42 in any full capacity. You can look at the percentages of people who were returned under 42, and it started to decline significantly as soon as he came into office. And now it's down to about 40 to 50%. So they got to, one, ask for it to be extended, and two, actually execute the returns.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you're exactly right. They have 5 million people, the encounters, since the president has been in office, and they believe more than 2.5 million have remained, and that does not include the gotaways, and nobody knows where they are. Washington Post says, quoting, in many respects, the administration is adopting tactics that Biden himself denounced when they were used by Donald Trump. The scale of the crisis has left Biden with little choice, and yet nobody on the left says a word. They don't even cover it for the most part down there. It's not being covered. It's not getting the attention. And if this was Trump, it would be a different ballgame.
Oh, 100%. You look at the number of dead migrants found on ranchers' farms, it's quadrupled. You look at the number of unaccompanied children that are unaccounted for, 85,000. That's a rough guess. It could be many more. And we now have articles from the New York Times showing that these children are being basically used as you know, slave labor. I mean, it's insane. And this was all decisions, policies made by this administration. Mayorkas actually, in that particular case, took away the background checks for sponsors for UACs. Yeah. So again, everything they're doing, from their budget to their interim final rule to the policies that no longer deporting people, all of that is just encouraging this mass migration wave into the United States.